I bet you ain't never seen nothing like this before. It's a guy playing Elden Ring. He made a build. Now he's invading other people with the build that he made. That's me, who I am. And you're watching it. YouTube said you liked it. My name is Saint Riot, and I made a Bloodborne guy. Kind of a Bloodborne guy. An inspired by Bloodborne guy. Since Bloodborne has trick weapons, weapons that transform from one thing to another, I thought, hey, what's the closest I could get to that in Elden Ring? And the answer I came up with was this kind of cute idea of soft swapping between a straight sword and a big hammer. Or a straight sword and a big sword. Like Kirkhammer and the Ludwig's Holy Blade, respectively. I love both of those weapons. I love Bloodborne. And as I've PvP'd a lot, the soft swap has sort of fallen out of grace. It's, you know, no Elden Ring pun intended. But it's sort of fallen out of the repertoire, right? And I was like, well, this is kind of funny because I'm like soft swapping these weapons. I haven't, you know, that's something I have not like done in a long time because I like hard swapping, which is when what I just did, open your menu and go in and just change stuff, right? If you have the silver cat ring for this, you won't take damage, but I'm an idiot and forgot the silver cat ring. But yeah. Anyway, the weapons. In today's video, we will also have added the brick hammer to the build, which is noticeably smaller than the giant crusher. It's also about 30 points of strength less intense. You need 31 points of strength to use the brick hammer. You need 60 to use the giant crusher. And so this is a pretty good swap in terms of efficiency. I'm still going to use the giant crusher, but if you wanted to use the brick hammer instead, you know, I feel like that would be allowed, and also it would save you some points. Like, I'm at level 90 with this build, right? I could run this same build and make this build level 60 if I was just content to use the brick hammer and not the giant crusher. That's a very satisfying invasion, getting bullied by two guys standing out in the middle of nowhere with no enemies around, you know, just waiting on the invader, and then trying to bully me, and then just shoving them off that thing and saying, hey, die. You know, that's always satisfying. This is another satisfying invasion right here. You got the bully goat with the waves of piss, and you got the moon veil, and you got the rivers of blood. There is no, like, this is the who's who. This is a rogues gallery of annoying ass weapons. They are just gonna destroy all of the dumb enemies in this level. There is no challenge to the game. You know, they just get to kill everything for free. And, you know, why not? If that's the way that you want to play the game, here it is. You can have that, right? The only problem is that when you play the game like that on the PlayStation or the Xbox, you know, you run the risk of somebody like me showing up. Someone who takes that personal. It also happens on PC, but, you know, PC's got that seamless co-op mod, so, yeah. Now, I've made a bunch of talisman swaps here, so that this jar cannon damage will be the most jar cannon damage possible. And I've got that blood boil aromatic in my system, right? So that the jar cannon damage will be the most intense jar cannon damage that I can have it be. And then they run directly beneath me where I can't get a shot off, which is hilarious. I don't even think they know that that's what happened. But we'll get a shot off on this guy. Kaboom! 568 damage. And now you saw how much damage my backstab did to that guy earlier. Right? And now we're doing 568 damage with a jar cannon, thanks to all these talisman swaps. We got the ritual sword talisman. We got the arrow sting talisman. We got the prosthesis wearer's heirloom, so that I can have the stats necessary to use the jar cannon, because the jar cannon requires like 14 dex or something like that. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the cannon in Bloodborne was just straight strength. All it needed was strength. So it's kind of messed up that they made me put some dexterity to use that thing. But that's fine. Anyway, here comes the brick hammer. Put waves of darkness on it for that follow-up attack. That big swing, because that's very similar to the big swing heavy attack that you get with the Kirk hammer in Bloodborne. The Kirk hammer in Bloodborne has like a fully charged heavy attack where you like just pound it into the ground like you're trying to nail somebody into the ground. And then if you press heavy attack again afterwards, you get this giant baseball swing. And it kind of reminds me of Waves of Darkness's follow-up attack. So we went with that. And then we got the jar cannon. We took care of that guy. Now we take care of that guy. And now it's time to fight this Rivers of Blood guy. He's all alone. And this is hilarious. I imagine this guy probably hasn't played a lot of Elden Ring before. And his buddies have. And his buddies probably haven't played since a long time ago. And they were like, here, take all this stuff. This is all the best stuff. And it's not the best stuff anymore. And he doesn't have the stats for it. Or he didn't level it up. I don't know. None of my business. All that matters is that he's dead. That's funny. You know? Like, you finally buy Elden Ring. You're finally playing it with your two buddies who have been asking you to play the game. And they give you a bunch of stuff that sucks now. Right? That's funny. I think that that's funny. And if you don't think that that's funny, then we just have different sense of humors. And that's okay. So I used the sword dance, and the sword dance is kind of my, like, trick attack. Right? If I use the sword dance, I'll do the swap to get to the hammer or the sword. It's just a little personal flair that I put on the playstyle, right? Look at this guy. He is really something right here. He's got the curved sword. He's got the frenzy spear. He's got it all, except for a pulse. He doesn't have one of those. No pulse, ladies and gentlemen. His heart has stopped. He's dead as hell. And now here we go. Finally got the host, and they've got this thing, and we just outspaced that. Unfortunately, the hyper armor lasts forever, so the sword dance isn't enough to do it. But here we go. This will break that hyper armor. I love this brick hammer. Look at that running heavy attack. That's a heavy attack. That's a light attack. That's a backstep into an attack. All right, now what are we going to do? All right, we'll wait. Jump. Whap. Good stuff. Backstep. Missed. R1. R2. Very nice. Light attack, heavy attack. Oh, here comes a blue. He wants to spoil the fun. Look at him in his dumb veteran's armor and his dual jumping greatsword. Third build. Get absolutely teabagged. Scum of the earth. Loser. Late. Worthless. Garbage, man. Those are all the words that I can think of. I really like this brick hammer. I'm telling you. I didn't think I would like it that much. People kept asking me to play with it. And I was like, no, I like Giant Crusher. And then finally I was like, alright, fine. I'll try the brick hammer. I'll be goddanged. I'll be goddanged. I'll be GD'd. Okay? I'll be straight GD'd like a MF'er on this BS because I like it. Okay? I'll tell you one thing I really like with it is pressing the heavy attack and then doing a fully charged follow-up heavy attack because it's like this golf swing. And unfortunately, if it hits, it doesn't like send them flying or anything, but it does have a ton of hyper armor. It does do a lot of damage, and if it kills them, it gives them this very funny death animation where they sort of like stagger back like they've had too many drinks, and then they just pass out right in front of the couch, like they miss the couch and they just land right in front of it. You all have dads, you know what I'm talking about. That's a joke. That's a joke, okay? I know not everybody has a dad. That's a follow-up. See what I did? That's a joke. That's how you tell a joke right there. You set up, you give them the easy punchline. They say, oh, okay. But then you give them the real punchline, which is, you know, whatever. Anyway, here comes that watchdog. Waboom! There's another follow-up heavy attack. I absolutely love these things. Heavy attack into fully charged heavy attack. They have all these hilarious abilities. It's really funny. I like it a lot. Now, this one has Earthshaker on it, which is very similar to Waves of Darkness. Again, for that follow-up attack. And then I also have another Watchdog sword that has Quickstep on it, because that's like the Bloodborne thing to have, right? So the Watchdog Greatsword, if you want to farm one, check out the Mountaintop of Giants Catacombs. And when you first walk into that catacomb, there's an elevator. Take it down, then send the elevator back up, and then you can go down. It's like a secret down a floor, right? And there's two watchdogs down there. They're pretty far separated from each other. One has the staff, one has the sword. But what's really great is that there's a stake of America down there. So what you do is, you go down there, you go to the watchdog, you try and get the sword, you kill the watchdog. Here comes a saw cleaver, check this out. Saw cleaver! Anyway, you kill the watchdog that has the sword. If he doesn't drop the sword, there's a bunch of traps all around you. You can just run into the floor traps, or you can let the other watchdog kill you, the one with the staff, and then use the Stake of America and respawn in that same spot. And that's where I farm mine, you know. The Giant Crusher you pick up in Lindell, right outside Lindell, and the Brick Hammer you pick up in Stormvale. Jar Cannon you pick up in Mount Gelmir, and that's pretty much it. Oh, my shield. You know, it's just a shield. I think that's the one you buy from Pitia in Carrion Manor. And yeah, that's the build. That Jar Seal's great Jar Seal's arsenal, that's a must for the carry weight. Star Scourge Talisman moves our strength from 55 to 60, so that's a must. And then the Poise Talisman, the Turtle Talisman, the Axe Talisman, the Dagger Talisman. Those are all good talismans to have. If you're not using Quick Step, you could also use Alexander's Jar Shard. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Later, y'all.